Hi, welcome back to Courage to Refocus. I'm Chancey, and in today's episode, we'll be learning how to thread the serger machine. So let's talk a little bit about our serger. I remember when I began to sew and I started doing a little bit of research, and I wanted my inside seams to look professional or look, neat. And I had tried some other methods, which I'll do a video about that later, about different methods you can do to make your seams look neat without having this machine. But in the meantime, we're talking about this serger. And I remember I wanted my garments to look professional, and I came across this machine. And I remember when I got it, it was so intimidating to me. I'm like, what is all of this, all these numbers, all these colors? What do you do? And I'm just looking at this machine like, I don't know. And I remember trying to find videos on how do you just thread this machine to even just sew with it. So that's what's inspiring me today to share with you this video on how to thread this serger machine. It looks intimidating, but it's not as hard as it seems. And once you do it a few times, you can do it. It'll come to you so quickly because you've done it so many times. So that's what today's episode will be about, okay? All right, so some of the material that we'll need today, of course, is some scissors. I like to kind of use my scissors a little bit to make my threads a little bit even, so may or may not need it, but always good to have a pair of scissors on hand. You will definitely need some tweezers. You need some tweezers. And then, as you can see, I have 4 threads on my machine because I'm going to be threading it with 4 threads. You can do 3, but I'll be showing you the method on how to thread the serger using 4 threads, okay? So, of course, you have your 4 threads. Now, of course, if you were sewing a finished garment, you of course use the same color of whatever you already have. Being that I'm just using this for demonstration purposes, so I use one so that you can see each one. So that's why I have a yellow, a red, a green, and a blue, because I want you to be able to see exactly where they're going. And I also match it up with your colors right here, because your machine is also well, this particular machine, I'm not saying all of them aren't, they should, but I know this one right here, which is the Serger Pro Finish that I'm using, by the way, it is color coded for you. So you have yellow, red, green, and blue. So I have my threads lined up for yellow, red, blue, and green, so that you can see exactly where we're going to take these threads. So the first thing we're going to do is start by simply opening the machine. You're like, wait a minute, where do I thread? Where, I don't understand why she said this looks so intimidating. Well, when you pop this open, you just, like I just did, just slide it out, and it'll open up, and then you get to see where it's, oh, I see what you're talking about. But right here you have some stickers. I leave mine. I've had this machine for years, but I keep my stickers here. Maybe someday you may forget something. Pregnancy brain. I've had a couple pregnancies, so sometimes it's good to remind me if I, may forget something or whatever may come. You have your reminders here. So I leave all my stickers just to, kind of, and it lets you know that if you're doing 4 threads or 3 threads over here, it lets you know if you're using the left needle or the right needle. But being that we're doing the 4 threads today, we're going to be using both needles. We'll be using left and right needle, okay? So what we do, we open the machine up, okay? And the next thing we're going to do, we're just going to simply follow the directions of the machine. It says the first one is, and I like right here, it tells you, because you would think that we'll start right here, or maybe you think 1 is right here, but actually 1 starts with the red. 1 begins with red right here. So the first thing we're going to do, you see these holes back here, they're there for a purpose, and that's to help us pull our thread up. So I'm going to take it up, just give me a second so I can get the thread started. Can you see my thread? Here we go. Put it back. Now I'm going to simply bring it over. Can you see that? I'm bringing it over, and I got that to go right through there, just like that. You've brought the thread through the loops. I called them holes earlier, but holes, loops, same thing. So we're going to bring it on down to back here. We're going to zoom in. I have my assistant with me again, so bear with me. There's some little loops back here. See if we can tilt it. Yes, that's really good. So you can see that. I'm just going to hook it in there. Do you see how that hooked in there? Then we're going to bring it down just a little bit inside. We want to make sure that it's going in between right there. You hear how that's catching each time I pull it out? Right there. And we're going to bring it down. You see this thread? And back here, we have these little things right there. Do you see that? We're going to loop that back there so it catches. Okay? So we put it underneath there. You see that? So I'm bringing it out so you can see again. It's going, it's going right in there like that. Okay? Now, if you see, we have some red dots. We have some yellow dots. Those dots let us know where we're going next. So the next thing we're going to do is going to bring this down. Our first red dot right here, you see that? It's telling us we go to this one right here. We're going to loop it under here. Oh, it didn't catch it. Oh, let's try. Right there. We're going to the next, our second red dot. If we can keep this to stay here. Now we're going to bring it underneath there, and it caught under here. You see that? Now we're going up to our third red dot. Right there. You see that? Now, this is the part where our tweezers will come in and help us. I'm going to adjust our needle position. I'm working over here. I'm trying to use, no. Oh yeah, you can, if you see on the side right here, this is our dowel where we can just turn it back towards us. Just like on the regular sewing machine, it brings the needle up or down in the down position. So I'm trying to get it to turn because I need it to get into the position that I need to be in to be able to see.
It moved.
Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do you see this hole? I'm going to get my tweezers because this is where the tweezers come in. You do not want to put it in this hole right here. You see that hole right there? And that's not the hole we're going for. We're going for that tiny one right there. Can you see that tiny hole? Right there. That's the hole we're aiming for. Kind of like the eye of the needle for our other sewing machine. So I'm going to take my thread with my tweezers, as you can see. And I'm going to try to just put it through. Let's see if we can get on the first attempt. I believe we got it on the first attempt. And then I'm just going to come back here behind it to get it to pull all the way through the rest. So I can bring it towards the back. Move these scissors out of the way. This is where the tweezers come in at hand so that you can, trying to work with my right hand and my left hand. Left hand is, I typically do this with my right hand, but I'm trying to hold the phone steady with my assistant so that we don't mess up the video. But at the same time, I think I'm gonna have to trust her and use my right hand, switch it around so that I can pull it on back there myself. Here we go. Just had to adjust a little bit. I may be able to get it this way. Yep, got it that way. Okay, now do you see? I was able to pull it through that hole. See that? Uh-oh, we caught on something. That's not what we want. Yeah, it's supposed to be pulled back smooth, just like that. Just like that. All right, we've threaded the first one. Now, step 2, let's go back to our numbers. We did, remember, red was first. Now, step 2 is going to be yellow. So we get our yellow thread, same thing with the yellow thread. We bring it up over the loop. We have it looped in. We bring it back down. Same thing like we did the red one. Back here, we're gonna hook it right there. Give it a second, I want to make sure. Hook that in there. There we go. Same thing with the red. We want it for all colors. We want to make sure that it goes in that groove, that is secure in there, okay? Just like with the red is another loop under here. We're gonna hook that just like that, bring it down. Now we have the yellow dots, and we're gonna follow the yellow dots. Our first yellow dot, let's make sure it's in there. Let's get the truss. There we go. My assistant. Second one, we went 1, 2, now we're going to 3. 3. And we're in here. Now, let's look at this. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Okay. So now we're in here. We have to yellow. Do you see when we move that again? You see that yellow right there, our final yellow dot that they put on here for us. We're going to pull that up, and we're going to, let me see, let me get 1 second. Hook that in there. Watch out. Did you see? We hooked it in there. So we went 1 yellow, 2, 3, 4. See that? And hooked inside of there. Now, this is very important right here. You want to make sure that that red stays behind that part right there. Can you see that? It is behind there. Now, I'm going to take the yellow. You see where we just pushed that red behind? I'm going to take the yellow and push it behind. Loop it behind there. Do you see that? But the difference is I'm going to push it all the way towards the back. If you can see that. Let's see if I can get it to come out. That's about as far as I can get that. But I pushed it all the way back there. Do you see that? Now, once I have that in there, my red came loose again. That's why you have to double check and make sure it stays back there. Now I'm going to use my tweezers again. And I'm going to, let's see. Remember I was telling you about those scissors? They come in a little bit handy. I'm going to trim a little bit off of this because it's not as smooth as I would like for it to be. My end, if you can see, it's not as smooth as I want it to be, so I'm just going to trim a little bit off so that it can get in that hole. So now I have my yellow. I don't know if you can see that yellow, but it's ready. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in this, just in this first hole right here. You see that? That first hole right there. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to pull it towards the back, just like we did the red. Now I have that going towards the back, so both of them. And as you can see, my red is in fact behind. You see that? It's behind it. So I have that in there. So now we've threaded two, okay? Red, yellow. Now we go to green and blue, right? So this is going to be 3. The green will be 3. And then we're getting ready to thread our needles. These green and blue is for your needles, okay? So same thing. We're just going to keep going up and over, threading it, bringing it down, just like that. this thread is a little bit too long for me, so I'm going to trim some of that too. That's why I said have some scissors by you. Same thing, we're going to hook it back here. Make sure it catches underneath there, just like that. It caught. Make sure that we're in there. Did you see that? You want to make sure that's nice and secure. Okay. Now you see right here we have the little loops again. I'm going to loop both 1 and 2. So I'm going to bring it under those two, just like that. Now, do you see the green at the top right here? Where do you think we're going to go? Yes, to the green. That's correct. And we just slide that back there. Did you see? We just simply slid it up and it went down. Oh, sorry, that's in the blue. We want it in the green, but it went up and it went down. Yes, just like that. Now, we're going to thread our needle A, which is going to be on the right side, which is A right here. So that's where we're going. So I'm going to loop it underneath our little thing, our little loops. Once again, trying to work with both hands, but there we go. And you see the eye of your needle? You're just going to simply take that thread, just like you would do on your regular sewing machine. Here's our tweezers again, helping us feed it through. We're going for which one? Yes, we're going for A. The second needle, I guess you could say. Or the right needle. And we're going to pull it towards the back too, just like that. I wanted to go on that side over there, so I'm trying to take my tweezers and I'm going to feed it on towards the back. And once I have enough going through, I can just simply feed it to the back towards there, just like that. Last one, the blue. Okay. Like all the other steps, we simply bring it up, bring it over, loop it through. Once we have that in there, we're gonna loop it back here, just like we've done all the other threads. And then let's see if we can get that green a little bit straighter. There we go. And then that blue, we're just going to bring it down, and the only time we have to do is the one. We don't have to do two, just one right here, one loop, and then you simply bring it to that blue. And this time, once we loop it back around our needles, just like that, we're getting ready to thread our last needle. Can you see our last needle? Yeah. Ready? Let's go. All right, so our blue, we're taking it to that needle. And first try, we got it in there. All right, that's why tweezers are definitely helpful. It helps get it in the first time. And we're just going to pull it through. And again, I want it on this side so I can keep up with it. Do you see that? And just like that, we have officially threaded our Serger machine. Wasn't bad at all. It looked intimidating, but not bad at all. And then we can also test it to make sure that it's looped correctly and threaded correctly, because we'll get a piece of scrap and test it out to see what it looks like, and we'll know if it's threaded correctly. If not, then that means we messed up and we need to redo it, which is okay. It's all a part of the learning process, okay? order for us to test this out, we're going to make sure that we close this up first. Just going to simply let it go back in place, lock it back in. Our pedal, it has a pedal just like the just like our sewing machine. I'm just going to try to reach mine so we can test it out to see if we threaded it correctly. Your presser foot would be back here, is already raised for us, and we're just gonna let it down, and we're gonna see if it's going. Let's see. All right, look at that, beautiful, right? So beautiful. Now, if you was doing a rainbow, I'm just going to cut mine. I'll show you in another video maybe how to leave a little chain to keep it, to hook it so that it doesn't unravel. But anyways, I'm just showing demonstration purposes. We're testing to see if our 4 loops, if they turned out great. Look at that. Beautiful. And so yes, so we know, this is how we know our machine has been threaded properly. Our chain is right here. It makes a beautiful rainbow. Let's see our stitches on the back side. Let's see, stitches on the back side. You see that? See how beautiful that is? All my little scrap pieces from here. This is how you know you have properly threaded your machine. I hope you enjoyed the video. Just like that, it seemed intimidating, but it really turned out to be something beautiful. I hope, we always like to try to give an encouraging word at the end of our video, and it's just simple today that just like this, you know, we have to have faith. The Bible says faith without works is dead. If we don't try, if we never put forth an effort, or if we get intimidated at everything that looks like a challenge, then you'll never succeed. But do you see how beautiful this turned out after just trying? You will never know how beautiful something could turn out until you put forth the effort to try. And remember that it is not us that we're able to do these things, because without Christ, we're nothing. But through Christ, we can do all things. We can do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ever ask or think, you know, according to the power that works within us. So we know that we know where our help comes from. We know where our help comes from. And so once we know that, there should be nothing that we should be afraid of. So that's your encouragement for today. And again, remember, if you are afraid or you're just waiting for somebody to give you an encouraging word, maybe you haven't seen our other videos. Maybe this is your first video you've ever joined us on. Just start by trying. Just start. That's where you start. You will never know what you can do until you simply start. So just start today, you know. And after all, remember, it takes courage to refocus. That's why we are called Courage to Refocus. It takes courage. And as long as you have God and you keep Him first, there's nothing that you cannot achieve. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't forget to do all those, you know, fancy YouTube things to do so that you can get all our latest videos and the things that come up. We have more content for you, and we would love for you to stay around and stick with us. Again, it was a pleasure doing this video for you, and we'll see you on the next one.